Ryan Rollins' career was on thin ice before he got arrested almost 2 years ago. But now, he's not just revived his career. Dude's frontrunner for most improved. How do you almost triple your stats across the board right when the Bucks needed it the most? Like, the Warriors drafted Ryan but gave up on him. So without Giannis, he goes off for a career-high 32 points with the dagger 3 in Jimmy Butler's face. How is he doing it? Well, it turns out you can trace this back to when his career almost ended. So Ryan comes from a basketball family, but wasn't some standout. I mean, yeah, scored 25 a game in high school, but just 6 foot something, not a great shooter, so no big schools recruited him. He went to Toledo as a 3-star recruit. Now, if you've never heard of Toledo, it's because their last NBA player was a guy named Casey Shaw in 1998. Played 1 year, then off to Europe. So Rollins, already not an NBA prospect, but he quickly made a name for himself, winning Conference Freshman of the Year and first team as a sophomore, so he declared for the 2022 NBA draft, went second round to Golden State. So a kid who nobody believed in became Steph Curry's newest teammate. But that could have been the peak of his career, because Ryan suffered a foot injury, played just 12 games, and the Dubs traded him to Washington. And this wasn't some like, we want Ryan Rollins thing from DC. He was a throw-in. It was Warriors get Chris Paul, Wizards get Jordan Poole, Patrick Baldwin, Rollins, and 2 picks. So a throw-in for salary, basically. But maybe playing on the Wizards was perfect. After all, as a guard in Golden State, he was behind Steph, Clay, Poole, Moses Moody, and Ty Jerome. Wow. So he goes to DC, and after 10 decent games, they cut him. Why? I mean, the Wizards dump a 21-year-old who showed some promise, especially on defense. That's the kind of guy they want to develop. Well, we found out why pretty soon. But dogs have been a very important part of my life ever since I met my wife, because her family are bulldog people, so I am too for the last 12 years now. But you guys know I'm particular about what food I eat. It's the exact same thing with my dogs. That's why I'm so excited that Mave is sponsoring today's video. Mave is the only fresh, ready-to-eat dog food made with the highest quality, human-grade ingredients you can name just by looking at them. There's no fillers, no additives, requires no prep or mess either. And my dogs have improved their digestion, they have a shinier, healthier coat, and more balanced energy. Not that Penny needs more energy, but it's important to keep her healthy. In fact, 90% of dog parents saw health improvements when feeding Mave. So click the link in the description to try Mave for your dog and use code HOOPS for 30% off your first order. It really helps out the channel, but more importantly, helps your dog. Again, click the link in the description or the pinned comment, and thanks again to Mave. In November 2023, Ryan was charged with shoplifting from a Target on 7 different occasions. Each time he would take something small like candles, groceries, body wash. So in 2 months while he lived in Washington, it looks like he went to NBA practice or games, then to Target to shoplift on his way home. What? You might ask, why would he do that? How much money was Ryan Rollins making? Turns out $1.7 million. Now, he pled guilty to just a misdemeanor, but the Wizards cut him immediately. Because this wasn't some LiAngelo Ball stealing sunglasses in China thing, okay? This was 7 different times. But hold up, aren't we supposed to be understanding with this kind of thing? I mean, 1.7 million, clearly a compulsion or a mental health issue, not financial. Well, yes, but obviously, the Wizards didn't think he was very good at basketball. Otherwise, they would have sent him to therapy or something, okay? NBA teams put up with a lot more for a guy they believe in. But it's a good thing they didn't, because that kind of wake-up call changed everything. Can you imagine getting cut from the worst team in basketball? You gotta believe the dream is over. Might be a better kick in the butt than therapy, actually, in some cases. But luckily, it wasn't over. The Milwaukee Bucks saw something. He's not a bad kid, maybe a good player, so they gave him a second chance contract. Part NBA, part G League. So mess this up and you're done. But then it happened. The kind of break that you cannot predict. Damian Lillard gets injured down the stretch, and out of nowhere, that injury becomes Ryan Rollins' miracle. The Bucks needed somebody to step up, and Ryan made the most of it. 48% from 3 after the All-Star break. He even started a playoff game. But that's where the story takes a crazy turn, because that Achilles tear that ended Dame's season made Rollins a multi-millionaire. See, at first, Milwaukee offered him a $2.6 million qualifying offer, basically a test drive. But then they had to pull that to clear cap space for Miles Turner. and that made Rollins a free agent. So when they wanted him back, it cost them a lot more. Bucks gave Rollins 3 years, $12 million. Now by NBA standards, nothing special. But for a dude who once got cut by the Wizards for shoplifting body wash at Target, that is life-changing. But no one was thinking, hey, Ryan Rollins is the answer for Milwaukee, okay? Everybody was talking Giannis trade this offseason. Very few said, oh, but they've got Ryan Rollins. But then it turned out he might be exactly what they need. In the season opener, Kevin Porter Jr. got injured, so Rollins got the keys. After scoring 20 points just once in his NBA career, did it back-to-back in his first week starting. First, a then career-high 25 points on 8 of 11 shooting, 4 assists, 4 steals over the Knicks, but then Ryan got revenge. A new career-high 32 points with 8 assists and just 1 turnover against the team who gave up on him, Golden State, without Giannis. See, no one predicted a Bucks win, but no one saw this from Ryan Rollins either. So how exactly is he breaking out? And is this NBA comeback legit? So the Bucks have been way better than we thought, and of course it's still all about Giannis. He has the highest usage rate in the NBA. Lots of isolations, pick and rolls, dribble handoffs to get him toward the basket, but the formula, as usual, is to surround Giannis with shooters, and Ryan Rollins fits that perfect. He is shooting 43.7 on all his catch and shoot threes, which can be pretty wide open with Giannis drawing all these doubles. But look at that quick release, this kid is awesome. Here, look at how Pascal Siakam is at the nail, then he goes to double, and that's just a practice shot for Ryan Rollins, but you still have to give him credit for hitting them. But his game is much more than that. Over Milwaukee's first 9 games, he has made 42% of his off-the-dribble threes, and one of his go-tos is a left-hand pound step back, where he initially plays upright and casual with the ball, like, oh, hey, I'm just, bam, step back 3 in your face. Look here how relaxed he is with the ball. And then one dribble, punch that right foot up, create space, rise up. Oh, and by the way, Giannis is such an effective roller. This must be a dream for Ryan Rollins. It's what we wanted to see Dame do a lot more of with Giannis. Here, Giannis pulls 2 defenders, so Rollins just gets a wide open easy J. And because he is improved as a shooter, the defense has to respect that so Ryan can drive past. And look at his change of pace here too, amazing. But his passing is also impressive, both in the pick and roll with those easy little lobs, and these cross-court side passes. Ryan really can play that true point guard, but what makes him potentially special is his defense. And what's crazy is nothing really stands out physically for him, which is why he was always underrated. He's just the most annoying guard in basketball. Never lets his man rest for a second or get away with anything. In fact, he leads the NBA in deflections per game over guys like Dyson Daniels and Oscar Thompson. So yeah, the Bucks are surprisingly good this year because of Giannis, okay? Dude's playing at an MVP level. Also, Kuzma got benched, team shooting 40% from 3. But what we did not expect was Ryan Rollins becoming a backcourt star. The kid is super efficient with good defense. All he needed was opportunity and a second chance after almost throwing it all away. But a sad story that is playing out right now is in Dallas. Every day, Mav fans are reminded about how Nico Harrison ruined their franchise. And you know who that's not fair to? Cooper Flagg. Fans can't even enjoy how good this kid might be one day. So I had to look at if Nico will actually be fired, and should we worry about Cooper?